The evening looked ordinary at first glance, but there was a subtle weight lingering beneath the surface. The kind of night where the air feels too still, and you sense before entering that your smiles will be more automatic than genuine. Monica had chosen a mid-tier Italian restaurant, warm lights, the gentle clinking of cutlery, endless breadsticks, and pasta portions so large they carried guilt with every bite. The kind of place families pick when they want a touch of elegance without overdoing it. It was my 32nd birthday, and I arrived early as usual, slipping into the small private dining room Monica had reserved. The space was cozy, bathed in soft light, and faintly scented with garlic and butter. I settled into my chair, folded the napkin neatly, and stared at the candle flickering in the center of the table, wondering if tonight would feel any different from all the others. Soon Monica entered with her son Derek trailing behind, 17 tall, completely absorbed in his phone. "Happy birthday," she said, lightly brushing my shoulder with a practiced, brief pat instead of a hug. "Thanks," I replied, smiling politely. Derek didn't even look up. I'd learned not to expect much. One by one, the rest of the family trickled in, my parents, Monica's husband Paul, and our younger brother Jason with his new girlfriend. By 7 o'clock, everyone was seated, scanning menus while the waiter took drink orders. The faint background music blended with murmurs from the main dining area. Comfortingly familiar. Before we could even decide on food, Monica clapped her hands together. "Time for presents." She slid a silver gift bag toward me, eyes sparkling with pride. Inside, delicate tissue paper revealed a luxury candle and a pale silk scarf, elegant and clearly expensive. "Thank you," I said, genuinely appreciative. "They're lovely." My parents followed with a small envelope containing a gift card from my favorite bookstore. Jason and his girlfriend gave me a framed photo from last summer's barbecue, all of us sunburned and smiling. Thoughtful, heartfelt gestures that warmed me. Then Monica turned to Derek. "Did you get Aunt Lisa a gift?" With a sigh, he looked up just long enough to seem irritated, dug into his backpack, and tossed a small package across the table. It landed softly in front of my water glass. I carefully unwrapped it. Inside was a hardcover on personal finance and investing, something I'd casually mentioned wanting months ago. I froze, caught off guard. "This is perfect," I said softly. "Thank you, Derek. I've been wanting this." He shrugged, eyes glued back to his phone. "Mom said you like boring stuff." Monica laughed, not intervening. "No, really," I insisted, running a hand over the book's smooth cover. "It's thoughtful. I appreciate it." "Only $20, Derek muttered, barely audible, but the words were sharp enough. The table quieted instantly. My mother cleared her throat. "Derek, that's not." "It's true," he interrupted defensively. "Uncle Jason spent $100 on that frame. Grandma and Grandpa always give at least $50. You never buy pricey gifts, Aunt Lisa. Everyone knows that." My father set down his menu. "That's rude, Derek." Monica's voice was sharp but light. "He's not wrong, though. Lisa's always practical. She doesn't splurge, but that's not a problem. Still, she's not exactly living extravagantly." Their words hovered in the air like dust, all eyes subtly flicking toward me, waiting for my response. Fortunately, the waiter appeared, smiling politely. I grabbed the distraction. "I'll have the fettuccine alfredo," I said, the cheapest item on the menu. Derek smirked. "See? $16 pasta. Could have gotten that book online for $15 with free shipping." Paul's quiet warning went unheeded. Dinner moved forward. Conversation shifted to safer topics. Jason's promotion, Monica's spring vacation plans, Derek's complaints about calculus. I nodded when spoken to but mostly stayed silent, twirling pasta and counting down the minutes. When dessert arrived, a chocolate cake topped with thick vanilla frosting, everyone half-heartedly sang happy birthday. I blew out the candles as Derek recorded the moment on his phone, likely for a story I'd never see. "Make a wish," my mother whispered. I already had. Outside, the parking lot air was cool as we said our goodbyes. Monica hugged me briefly this time. "Don't mind Derek's remarks," she said casually. "He's 17. They're all impossible at that age." "It's fine," I said. "We love you anyway," she added, already walking away. "Even if you are the practical one in the family." I drove home in my trusty worn 10-year-old car, the book still on the passenger seat. Once home, I made tea, sat at the kitchen table, and opened my laptop. One unread email waited. Ignored since before dinner. Derek's college fund advisor had confirmed our quarterly review meeting for tomorrow morning. I stared at my cup, watching the steam curl upward. After a pause, I opened the banking app and checked the account I had set up for Derek when he was 7. The balance glowed back at me. $173,412. For 10 years, I had faithfully contributed $500 every month. Through raises, job changes, and tiny apartments. I never missed a single payment. Monica had no idea. It was meant to be a surprise for Derek when he graduated. 4 years of tuition, room, board, and books, all fully covered. I used to imagine that moment. The joy on Derek's face, Monica's tears, the hugs, the gratitude. I imagined feeling proud, loved, and appreciated. Instead, I had gotten a $20 book and a lecture about being cheap. I lifted my phone and typed a short message to the advisor. Can we move tomorrow's meeting to Adam? I need to discuss changes to the account. Her reply came within minutes. Of course. See you then. I finished my tea in silence. I didn't feel angry. I felt clear. The next morning, the advisor's office shimmered with glass walls and modern furniture. Margaret, a warm woman in her 50s, greeted me and led me inside. So, she said, settling into her chair, you wanted to discuss some changes? I want to close the account, I said evenly, and transfer the full balance to my personal savings. Her eyebrows rose. The entire balance? May I ask why? Derek's college fund, isn't it? He is, I said. But I've decided this isn't how I want to use my money anymore. She studied my face carefully. Lisa, you've been contributing to this fund for 10 years. That's an incredible gift to take back. Are you sure? I'm completely sure. Does your sister know? No, I said simply. It was meant to be a surprise. Margaret leaned back, thoughtful. And now? She asked. Now, I said. I'm choosing to invest in my own future, not for someone who thinks I'm cheap. She nodded slowly. You're the sole contributor, so you have full authority to close it. The transfer will take 3 to 5 business days. Perfect. We spent the next half-hour signing forms. She explained the taxes, the paperwork, the timing. When we finished, she handed me a folder of copies. For what it's worth, she said quietly. I hope your nephew realizes what he lost. So do I said, managing a faint smile. I went to work afterward, at the same accounting firm I'd been at for 8 years. Emails, spreadsheets, budget meetings. I ate my homemade sandwich at my desk. Frugal. Practical. Cheap. At 2:15 my phone buzzed. Monica's name flashed across the screen. I hesitated, then answered. Hello. Her voice came sharp and high. What did you do? I'm sorry, I said calmly. I just got a call from Margaret about Derek's college fund. What college fund? What are you talking about? Exactly what it sounds like. I had a college fund for Derek. Now I don't. You had, Lisa, what are you saying? How much was in it? $173,000. Then you're joking. I'm not, I said quietly. I've been adding $500 a month since he was 7. It would have covered his entire college, tuition, housing, everything. Would have. Her voice cracked. Lisa, please tell me you didn't actually close it. Margaret said something about a transfer, but she wouldn't give details. Tell me this is a mistake. I looked down at my screen. Neat rows of numbers, balanced and precise. It's not a mistake, I said softly. Silence fell for a beat. Then her voice trembled, laced with fury and desperation. Why would you do that? He's applying to colleges now. Do you know how expensive tuition is? We were planning on financial aid and student loans. But if you have money, had money, and now it's gone. I did it because I realized I was investing in someone who doesn't value me. I said evenly. This is about dinner last night. Monica, you agreed with him when he called me cheap. You laughed about my frugality while I sat there, knowing I'd been putting $500 a month into your son's future for 10 years. Her breathing sharpened. You never told me. How was I supposed to know? You weren't. It was a gift. Gifts are for people who appreciate them. Derek made it clear last night that he doesn't appreciate anything I do. A $20 book was too cheap for his standards. Lisa, please, she said, panic giving way to anger. We can't afford college without help. Paul's salary barely covers the mortgage and Derek's car payment. We have maybe $10,000 saved. That's one semester at a state school. Then he'll need loans like millions of other students. Or he can get a job, I said. Or earn scholarships. There are other ways, Monica said, her voice tight. You're really going to do this? Take away his future over one stupid comment. I'm not taking away his future, I replied calmly. I'm choosing not to fund it. There's a difference. Monica's face crumpled. It wasn't just one comment, Lisa. It's years of you treating me like the boring, practical sister, dismissing my choices because I don't chase luxury or extravagant vacations. Years of quietly watching me struggle, while you quietly supported us. This is cruel, she whispered. What's cruel, I said, is raising a child who thinks it's acceptable to mock someone's gift at their own birthday dinner. What's cruel is failing to teach him gratitude or respect. I'm not the villain here. I'm not the one who failed. Monica's tears began to fall. What do you want? An apology. Fine, I said. I'm sorry, Derek. Sorry. We'll do whatever you want. Just please don't do this. I don't want anything. The decision is final. The money will be transferred to my account this week. Lisa. My phone buzzed relentlessly that afternoon. 6 calls from Monica. Each one a mixture of panic and anger. My mother called too, confused, asking what had happened. Jason texted, concerned. I only replied to him, I'm fine. This is between Monica and me. That evening, I sat alone in my living room with a personal finance book Derek had given me. I opened it to the first chapter. Setting financial goals, prioritizing investments. The irony wasn't lost on me. At 7 p.m. the doorbell rang. I peered through the peephole. Monica and Derek were there. I hesitated. Then I opened the door. Can we come in? Monica asked, her red-rimmed eyes pleading. She stepped aside and Derek shuffled in, hands stuffed in his pockets, looking uneasy. Monica sat on the couch. I took the chair opposite her. Derek has something to say, Monica prompted. He shifted, eyes down. I'm sorry for what I said at dinner. It was rude. Okay, I replied simply. Monica leaned forward, her voice trembling. Lisa, please reconsider. We'll make it right. Derek can work. He can contribute. Monica, stop, I said, my voice firm. I'm not reopening the fund. But you need to understand why. For 10 years I've lived below my means so Derek could have a future without debt. I skipped vacations, drove an old car, wore discount clothes, saved every extra dollar. I did all of it because I love you both. But last night proved my efforts meant nothing to you. Worse, it was mocked. Derek's face went pale. You really saved that much for me? Yes. You weren't supposed to know. But even without knowing, you should have understood better than to insult someone's gift on their birthday. Your mother should have corrected you instead of agreeing. Monica's shoulders slumped. You're right. I was wrong. We both were. But please, don't let our mistake ruin Derek's future. I'm not ruining anything, I said. I'm simply choosing not to provide something I was never obligated to provide. Derek's future is now in your hands, and his own. What if he apologizes? Really apologizes? Monica's voice was desperate. I looked at Derek. Do you understand what you did wrong? He nodded slowly. I was ungrateful and mean. I didn't think about your feelings. That's true, I said. But the bigger issue is thinking the value of a gift is in its price tag. That's not a lesson money can fix. I don't think that, he said quietly. I was just being stupid. Maybe, I said. But you both need to understand, respect isn't transactional. I don't give expecting gratitude, but I also won't continue supporting people who treat me poorly. The college fund is closed. That decision is final. What happens next is up to you. Monica stood, taking Derek's hand. We'll figure it out. We always do. But this isn't over. Lisa, you can't just walk away from family. I'm not walking away, I said. I'm setting boundaries. There's a difference. After they left, I sat in the quiet of my home. The finance book Derek had given me rested on the coffee table. I opened it again. The first chapter spoke of investing in yourself, making choices aligned with your values, and learning to say no. I had spent a decade investing in Derek's future. Now it was time to invest in my own. Days later, the money was transferred. $173,412. I sat at my computer, staring at the balance, and opened a new spreadsheet. Down payment for a house, emergency fund, retirement contributions, travel fund, professional courses. For the first time in 10 years, my money was going toward my own dreams instead of meeting someone else's expectations. Despite the tears, the shock, the calls of disappointment, I felt something I hadn't in years: freedom.